podcast. I am your host, Richard Franzi, and this is podcast episode number 1061. Many business executives don't have financial peace of mind, even though they run successful firms. And that's why I've invited Sam Hashizu and his team at Takenaga, Hashizu, J. and Company to come in and talk with us about how they channel a unique, holistic approach to financial security for their business executives. Sam, welcome to Critical Mass Radio Show.
I'm glad to be here.
It's awesome to have you at the show. Maybe before we get into that, you can tell us a little bit more about a story about yourself that might help our audience to figure you out.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something that kind of example of holistic accounting type of concept. And I had a situation where one of my right-hand person that's been with me for over 20 years, and I've been noticing that she was having some issues and she didn't seem too happy at my workplace. So I asked her what's going on, and I offered to pay for her to go to this event called Landmark Forum, which she accepted and went to the 4-day intense session.
Okay.
And as a result of that, within a week, she had the courage to come to me and say, Sam, you know what, I need to leave the firm. I have some other family events and my husband I need to work for. So I kind of supported her in her decision, and I kind of said, well, that's great that you're able to come and finally let me know. I think she's been kind of bubbling this for months and years. And as a result of that, what happened next was that amazing thing happened because of I took action, and I was concerned about her welfare.
Right.
The very next day, my nephew knocks on my door and comes to visit me, and he's never been to my office. He didn't know my situation. And I said, and I was with the meeting, I said, hey, your nephew said, do you want to? Yeah, I want to talk to him. So I went and talked to him. He said, hey, what's going on? He said, you know what, Uncle, he's a CPA also. I'm thinking about leaving the public accounting because he's been beaten up very intense. As you know, they work hours and hours. So I said, you know what, opening just opened up yesterday. Would you like to join my firm?
Oh, wow.
He said, sure, of course. So then within a week, he gave emergency leave at the other firm and said, I need to go and help my uncle. So there he was within a week. And that kind of saved my firm as a result of that. Because of his experience in SEC filing, I had one major audit client, and I was going to lose that client because I had another staff member that was taking care of it, but it was kind of getting over her head that she didn't want the responsibility. I was no help because I didn't go into the big audit firm to get my experience.
Okay.
So as a result of that, I saved my client, and they're still with me today, and the employee that was going to leave that was taking care of my largest client stayed, and she's still with me today.
Oh, she is.
And as a result of my nephew he became a partner at the beginning of this year.
Oh, wow.
So everything just kind of worked out, and I think it was all because of taking action and being concerned about the welfare of my employee.
Right.
Which started the ball rolling
Yes.
and ended up in this amazing event that saved me from a lot of headaches and anxiety, and my firm is prospering because of that one decision I made.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
Sam.
so
I think of that as good karma.
Yeah, I think
as
it was
well
good
as a
karma,
holistic approach.
Right.
Right?
So yeah, just to being caring about people and
Right.
And making decision and action to help them out.
So
that kind of got me going
So
with my firm. Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your firm then, and
Sure.
Help our audience to understand those successful niches, the type of clients that like to do business with you, that you attract to your brand.
Yeah, basically, like I said, my niche is I was born in Japan, and I speak Japanese, which resulted in getting a lot of the local Japanese firms that helped grow my firm. And that one event, that learning the language again, because I was at a small age when I came here, immigrated to the U.S.
Oh, you were?
I forgot everything. Right?
Did you?
I forgot all my Japanese. And my clients laughed at me because, the first time I met with them, they couldn't understand what I was saying. So they're just laughing. And you come a long ways, because it took me, that just through practice. And I took 1 year, of Japanese at school, but that wasn't, not going to help you too much in terms of communication.
Sure.
But I kept at it, and now I'm pretty 95% fluent. But I'm illiterate because I can't write or read Japanese.
Okay, so
I
it's
couldn't speak it.
spoken word.
Spoken only, but that was enough to get by, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And,
my
and,
Japanese clients. Yeah.
and so that's a primary niche for you then?
Well,
Japanese business owners?
that started my firm, but you know, I've been diversifying since then, so I have
Mm-hmm.
a pretty good mix of client base now. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, what, in addition to being Japanese speaking, what makes your firm, I mean,
Well, see,
from a
for,
CPA perspective,
well,
why do people do business with you?
well, see, for me, it's so much. You know, I deal most with small businesses, but to me, it's about the people. My niche market is the people, meaning that, you know, a billionaire is a person, homeless is a person.
Right.
They both have the same issues, similar issues. A homeless person can be totally happy. A billionaire could be totally, you know, upset or not happy, right? So it doesn't matter your income level.
Okay.
It's all about the people that you work with and how you approach them and try to get them to the place where now they're enjoying life. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a billion or you have a few dollars, you could still enjoy life.
Uh-huh.
So I would think that's my niche, is to work with people, basically.
Where does that come from?
Well, I think
that philosophy.
Well, that philosophy is through the course of my upbringing, and I've been there, I've done it. You know, I've been on the other side, and I've come to this side. You know, so
Oh, really?
right.
So you weren't always this way
no,
as a younger man, Sam?
No, I've been there, I've seen everything, right? So I could relate at every level.
Okay.
I could relate to them. So as a result of that, and then my current pursuit is in terms of mind, body, spirit. So that's kind of brought me to where I am today, understanding about people. And it's all about working with them to the place where they feel comfortable with themselves internally, so they can start enjoying life, as opposed to being swimming upstream with life, meaning that there's a lot of problems and issues that show up in their life, and then they don't have the coping skills.
Uh-huh.
So I try to provide them tools to help them manage the increase the coping skills with life.
So do the other members of your firm treat their practice similar to how you treat your
it's
practice?
pretty much me
Okay,
right now.
so this
yeah.
is unique to how you
right,
service
and
your
then I'm
clients.
hoping that, you know, like Gandhi said, you be the change that you want to see in others.
Okay.
So I just see me, you know, do my relationship with people, what I'm doing. Hopefully they'll pick that up.
Yeah,
in time.
I would think your nephew would be very
Right, exactly.
possibly influenced by
so
you.
I talk to him a lot, and my family kind of got involved in business without planning. It just happens.
Really?
My oldest daughter, as an example, my oldest daughter's been with me 10 years.
Oh, really?
And my second daughter is going to join the firm in June, July. And it was not designed, it just happened this spontaneously, because I've been blessed, meaning that I've only fired 2 people in 40 years.
Oh, my goodness.
People leave and go
Uh-huh.
on their own volition without me forcing people to leave or forcing people to come. I never really had to advertise how they just show up.
So what's it like to have your daughter in the business?
But it's, you know, challenging with family men, of course. But but
For those of you listening to the audio, he's smiling.
right, but
right?
you know, but
You can see him on the video.
But we get along, and I'm very supportive, and they understand that, so it works out.
Yeah, it must be working. You're going to allow your second daughter to come
Yeah,
into the business
exactly.
too. So
And that's interesting too, the way like this thing just happens, and meaning that she was very disenchanted as a school teacher. So I offered her a job about a year ago without having a position for her. I didn't have a place for her, meaning that would have been an extra person that I didn't really need.
right.
However, just about 2 months ago, my partner, who's been with me 40 years, came to me and said, "Hey, you know, I want to retire." So I said, "Great."
You
Because now
deserve
the
it.
position opened, right?
Wow.
For my daughter.
You
So
live a
like
charmed
I said,
life,
yeah.
Sam.
So it just happens. What they call seamlessly without effort is what I
Right.
call it. So
Okay.
it's been a blessed life for me to be able to experience that and how things just unfold. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So
Well-
that's all about holistic accounting.
So we're going to get a little bit more into that after the break because, as the loyal listeners know, we take a very short 30-second break here on Critical Mass Radio Show and Podcast. It's just one of the products or services that we offer through my business, Critical Mass for Business. But when we come back, Sam, I'm going to ask you if you can kind of share with our audience this idea about a holistic approach to financial security. I
Okay,
said in
sure,
the
of
open
course.
how many business owners and executives don't have financial security,
Sure.
even though they have successful businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna. When I first met Sam at an event at the Center Club here in Orange County, that was sort of the first words out of your mouth. Is I'm a different kind of CPA. I take a holistic approach to my clients, and I thought I need to learn more about that. And here he is now here on Critical Mass Radio Show and Podcast. So. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back with Sam after this word from me for others to find their show. You know, since we started doing this podcast in 2009 here on octalkradio.net, we've reached hundreds of thousands of listeners through the live stream, our podcasts, and our other platforms. All right, so, Sam, before the break, I said I wanted to ask you to talk more about your unique kind of holistic approach. What's behind that, and what do you mean by that?
Basically, what it is we look at the organization as a whole. And as accountants, we tend to be historians.
Yes.
We crunch the numbers, and I work with small businesses, and then you give them financially only because the creditors, the banks want it, and they just throw in the trash can. So I don't serve any purpose, and I could have a monkey do that, you know. Not a monkey, but it's an accountant or a technician to do that.
Yes.
So we're more about what I call creating possibilities in the future. And the way we do that is by working with the clients in a place where they understand the importance of what we call building the people, because if you focus on the people, then the people will build your company. So I spend a lot of time in the people, meaning that take care of them and work with them. And I do a lot of entrepreneur work. So I bring added value to my client base. So I've been there, I've done it. I've had my real estate license, insurance license, securities license, and I have about 8 different businesses as an entrepreneur. So wherever they are, questions, I could respond to them. So I understand the language of all these different areas, because I've been there, I've done everything basically in the investment arena. I've done real estate investments, I've done and my latest venture is cryptocurrency, which is the buzz right now. So I got into that.
How's that working out for you?
I don't want to say number, but it's been amazing.
Really?
Yeah. My son's really into it, so he's got me involved in it. So I started working with it just recently. So it's been an amazing experience so far. So I try to get in the leading edge of investment and personally, because I'm always curious. I always say, you know, I'm not afraid of failure, so I just say yes to it and try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, so what?
Right.
So it's more about, holistic accounting is about working with my client and working with their attitudes and their gratitude and how they feel about life, and to remove anxiety and stress from their life.
And do you find, I guess you find clients that will allow you that privilege to step beyond the financial historical reporting for their company?
Once you create a relationship, you know, and they get to trust you more, and a lot of times when you get a new client, they just see you as an accountant.
Right.
That's all we do tax returns. As I get to know them, and some people aren't receptive, I pick and choose who I, you know, share this information with. As an accountant, it's kind of interesting because always we're saving taxes. So a lot of my clients will ask me, how can I save taxes? Then I always say, you're asking the wrong question.
Okay.
You should be asking me, how can I increase my net worth? And then the tax savings are a byproduct of that.
Okay.
So they all focus so much on tax savings that they do things that they get in trouble. Right?
So they get too aggressive.
Yeah, too aggressive and trying to save taxes as opposed to how do I, you know, increase my net worth.
So this is your holistic approach to financial planning.
Financial planning. I mean, and also the important things that when you work with people, when you say financial security, what does that mean? You could be a billionaire and be insecure. Right? Or
because that's an emotional state.
Right, emotional state, and that's very important because the emotional being affects all of our, the way we show up, our health, our mental state,
right,
anxiety and stress. So that's very important to address that and to get them to a place of abundance, meaning that if you have $10, you feel abundant. If you have $1 billion, you feel abundant. Because someone that has $1 billion could feel insecure because they feel like they're going to lose what they achieved.
Yes.
So they worry about it. Although they got so much money. Another person with $1,000 said, "Wow, you got
I'm
so
rich."
much. What are you worried about?"
Right.
But yet they still have this innate human emotional behavior that says, "I'm lack because there's somebody with 100 billion."
Right.
So relative to that, I got to keep going, or I don't feel like I'm satisfied. And so it's a state of mind that where they got to get to the place where they're happy with what they have in abundance. And once you get into that place, then everything will start unfolding where you create more abundance.
So that's your experience.
Right. More
The
abundance.
precondition for that is to have that a belief, and then it begets other abundance and more riches.
Correct.
I use riches in the term of not money, but
Well,
just
it's not so much money.
deepening relationships.
There's nothing wrong with money.
No, it's good.
But
I
if
love
it
money.
comes, it comes. But don't be so focused on that, and that's your measuring stick as to your success. you know,
Okay.
Right. So it's more success is more about how you feel, you're present, you feel good about internally, you feel happy, and life is good.
I,
Right.
as you're explaining
With
this,
or without money, life would still could be good
Right.
if you choose to do that, be
Right.
that. Yeah.
we did an exercise last year, at the beginning of last year, in our CEO peer groups, which was talking about health,
Yes.
because we had a good speaker come in and
Mhm.
talked about wellness. And the realization is, it doesn't matter how well run and successful your business is,
Mhm.
if you don't have your health,
Sure.
you're at a great disadvantage,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
so many business owners forget about taking care of themselves and their health in
Mhm.
service of the business,
Mhm.
and we wanted to reframe them. I guess in January, people are their weight, and after the holidays, they're
Sure.
all about their health.
Right,
So we were
right.
trying to make it a
Lifetime.
year-long kind of
Yeah,
commitment, if not
right,
longer, which
right.
turns into a life. So I'm not sure you're the typical CPA that comes in and talks to their clients about abundance-based mentality versus scarcity-based mentality, right?
Right.
So this is what you were saying to me at the Center Club
Sure.
about how you take a holistic approach to your
Right.
clients.
So it's not just about the numbers. It's lot more than that, because then that makes being as an accountant more satisfying, more enjoyable,
Right?
as opposed to just crunching numbers. And I could do that. Obviously, I have staff that could do that.
Right.
But
And that's very important, though.
They always stereotype us, right? Accountants, they're
Yeah.
out there doing this.
Accounting.
It's boring. And what's so fun about accounting, right?
Right.
But it's a foundational. When you look at it, you talk to a lot of people, obviously, your clients, and they trust their CPAs, or they
Yes,
trust their
trust the
advisors,
advisor,
your
right.
CPAs, right? So then you want to take it to the next level to support them beyond the money part, and that will give them financial security indirectly, because now they're happy with what they have, as opposed to not being happy, right. With what they have.
Be happy with what you have.
Exactly.
That is the teachable moment that comes from Critical Mass Radio Show. Sam, if someone would like to learn more about your firm and maybe reach out to you online, how do they find your firm
Well,
online?
the best way is I'm 24/7, so they could call my cell phone at 714-925-9798.
I'd like you to repeat that.
Yeah, 714-925-9798. And
Okay.
from there, whatever they want to find out, we can talk from there.
Okay. And a
Because I have-
website? Do you have a website?
Yes, I have a website for, it's called www.thj, that's Tom, Harry, Jack, hyphen, it's a bar, CPA.com.
Okay. Say that one more time.
Yeah, it's www.thj-cpa.com. And I have other multiple websites for my other businesses as
Okay.
well. So
Yeah, there's a lot more
So
to
if-
you than meets the
yeah,
eye,
so
young
if they're
man.
interested from there, I could direct them to
Sure.
all my other businesses.
That's
and
awesome.
whatever their interest is, I think I've been there, I've done it. So
Well, it's been a
hopefully-
pleasure.
Hopefully they'll make the effort to call me, because I have a mentoring organization. I'm going to start a yoga ashram, which is going to be an amazing healing center that
Oh, wow.
my pet project for the current year, 2018. I'm going to get a yoga master from India coming over January 21st. And he's an amazing yoga master, one of its kind, So
Uh-huh.
kind of
That's
excited
awesome.
about that project going
Look at
forward.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at new activities. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
Well,
always.
thanks for being a friend of the program and a part of the Critical Mass community. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Well, thank
here
you for
today.
having me.
Of course, my
Yeah,
pleasure.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank my engineer as well, none other than Mr. Paul Roberts. Another year together, kicking it off after, well, since 2008, so 9 years here. 10 years, actually, huh? 10 years we've been together. Oh, my goodness. A decade, Paul. Our producers are Joan Park, Crystal Nunley, and Haley Stern. I haven't been with them for 10 years, but I've been with them for probably 4. And so, anyway, we find good people and we stay with them. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, I would suggest Twitter is the place to start. CEO Peer Groups is my Twitter handle. On LinkedIn, I'm Richard Franzi, Franzi. And my website is simple, criticalmass4business.com. And until our next show, I hope all of your business decisions will move your company in a positive direction.